President Cyril Ramaphosa says he will not withdraw his notice of intention to suspend Public Protector Busisiwe Mkhwebane. That's after she told Ramaphosa in a letter this week to withdraw his notice and said that he's not entitled to suspend her. Let's talk about the latest developments then with Benedict Phiri, who's joining us tonight on News at Prime. Benedict, always good to have you on. So when we spoke to you yesterday afternoon, we only had the response from the Public Protector who said that the President-in-law should not suspend her and that he was compromised because he'd been the subject of investigations by the office past and present. What do you make of this response from the President?
I think the President's response is actually spot on. He has a very good basis in law. The Constitution is very clear that at instances where the head of a Chapter 9 institution, such as the Public Protector, where proceedings have been taken for their removal, the President may suspend that person. So I think the President, exercising that power and doing so correctly in law.
And if the Public Protector does go to court to fight the President on this issue and advances the argument that he basically has a bias, a conflict of interest because she's, or her office at least, has investigated him in the past and is still looking into other issues where his name has come up, what is the test in law that would have to pass?
I think to begin with, it would be a very misguided argument because, what is actually happening is a parliamentary process. So Mr. Advocate Mkhwebane was found by a number of courts to not be of the capacity required to hold that office, and Parliament has commenced proceedings to impeach her. So the notice to suspend has actually got nothing to do with bias because what's at stake is the Public Protector's conduct and not the President's conduct in this particular instance. So any CR17, Busasa, or any other investigations have no relevance with respect to a parliamentary process, which, it will be Parliament at the end of the day that decides whether to impeach Advocate Mkhwebane or not, and not the President. So the President plays a very minimal role here, and any apprehension of bias really is inconsequential to the matter.
Would there be any harm then to the Public Protector's Office or anyone involved in this case, or indeed the impeachment proceedings as they play out in Parliament themselves, if the Public Protector was allowed to stay in post until the impeachment process had concluded or has concluded?
I think there's certainly harm to the office of the Public Protector, and I think this is what the President may be seeking to protect here because, the allegations are that she's misconducted herself in quite a gross way, and these impeachment proceedings will then be playing out for all to see. I think the dignity and repute of the Public Protector's Office is at stake, and I think that must be protected given the important function that it plays in the country.
So, Benedict, bear with me here. So there's a process, right, the impeachment process, that's being done by Parliament, and there have been changes made to the process as per what a court had decided on when the Public Protector approached it, where she felt that she'd be compromised to a degree. Now, if the Public Protector and the President engage in a legal battle over the issue of her suspension, do the two overlap at all, or can that process, the parliamentary process, continue even if she and the President are in and out of court?
Sure, and I think for the parliamentary process to be suspended by a legal process in this matter naturally means that the Public Protector must then also sue Parliament. And I guess the question is, what would the basis for a successful argument against Parliament be, because this is a parliamentary process. Now, the question is whether she then approaches the court and says, if the President follows through on the suspension, that the suspension was bad in law and that she should keep her office. So I don't think the two matters will commingle in that particular respect, and certainly should she try to suspend the parliamentary process, given the Constitutional Court judgment that we have right now, I think that will be entirely misguided in law.
And the impeachment through Parliament of the head of a Chapter 9 institution, as is now unfolding, is uncharted territory for this country. But as far as the issues around the President, his powers, and the suspension of the Public Protector, how much of that is pretty clear to decide in law?
Yeah, this is actually one of those parts of the Constitution which are exceptionally clear. And, both the fact that there's impeachment proceedings and the Speaker of Parliament has confirmed that they'll be proceeding with those impeachment proceedings. Those two facts, trigger the ability for the President to then suspend Advocate Mkhwebane. And I think we must applaud the President as well, because he's interposed a step which is completely reasonable, in that, he's given Advocate Mkhwebane reasons why she should not be suspended. And, the response was really, unfortunate in that respect.
Benedict Phiri, legal analyst, always good to have your thoughts. Thank you very much.